Hey everybody, this is Hillel Penrod, and I'm here from New Hero Comics, and I'm going to continue the lesson we had the other day. We started on inking this character here using vector tools, the various tools you can find in Clip Studio Paint for creating vector images. And today I just want to continue that. We didn't get very far, but that was mostly I was covering the different tools you could use. So today I just want to go ahead and finish this character using those tools that I've already shown you how to use, and then showing you how to take this old drawing and making it more dynamic. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just get into it. If you remember last time, I showed you this technique where I can just take everything and just make very strong lines and not even worry about what it's going to look like. So I've done a few strong lines. I'm going to hit E for my eraser tool, and oops, see, this is one of the problems. If you don't do this right, you have to make sure that the line goes through both points. So now, let's try it now. Hit E, erases that point, erases that point. You get that erased to a certain extent. You've got to draw through, hitting P, right? There has to be an intersection of lines. If you have an intersection of lines, then by using your eraser tool with the vector, clicked on vector, make sure you have under vector eraser, you have erase up to intersection. Having that selected, then all you'll need to do to erase is just take your eraser and just swipe through. And anything that is beyond the intersection point will be erased. Okay? So sometimes you find yourself having to mess with it a little bit, but in the end, it's pretty fine. Now, if you notice here, I've got this little these two edges here that have separated. That happens sometimes when you're trying to erase sort of an odd blob or something. So let's fix that. I'm gonna hit my object tool. I can select it over in the tool palette. I can also hit O for my hotkey, and then I have my object selection tool, and I can click here, and then I can just start moving this back together again. Um, Now, so you have these two lines are not joined. They're two different lines. So what I really want to do is I want to join these two lines together, if possible. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I can come over here to the correct line tool on the tool palette. I can also hit the letter Y, my hot tool, and then I just come over to this place that they're not connected. And now it looks like I've connected them. Let's hit O to make sure. Nope, I might have it on the wrong selection. Let's try that. Let's see what I've set on. My subtool palette. Oh, let me make line correct. Subtool palette. Oh, I have adjust line width. Okay. I want to actually have it on connect vector lines right here. Okay. Now let's go back and hit it. See what happens. Looks like it connected. So I'm going to hit O on my keypad and touch the line. And what do you know? It looks like we've got what we wanted. It looks like we've got that. These two lines have been joined together. Okay. All right. So let's go back to our eraser tool, E, and we'll just knock out a couple of these things. Okay. So now we've got a nice looking curve here. See how that works? Pretty simple. Now the nice thing about doing this is you can see over here. Well, let me just show you here. If I turn off the new inking layer, you can look at the old one, and things were a little bit more wobbly, not as sharp, wasn't as controlled as it is now. Okay, now let's go ahead and continue drawing our lines. So I'm going to hit P for my pen tool, and I'm going to start drawing some more of those lines. I'm going to correct this, and I could do that by just moving this line, but I kind of like doing it this way myself. Okay, so let's try E. Okay. I've got these two bits here. By going on these, hit O. See, I've got this little artifact here. Let's see what happens when I remove this. I'll hit backspace. That helped. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can add these two lines together. I'll hit Y for my correct line tool, go over it. That looks like they connected. I'll hit O to check. They did. Now then, you notice how it's kind of pinching there? So I want to see if by deleting one of these vertices, I can get rid of that. So delete control. So all I did was I came over here and I touched the line with my object tool. Then I clicked the node and I right clicked on it. And I brought up this selection here, delete control point. So that's what I want to do. You can also do it if you look at that. Looks like hitting the V key. Let's try that. No, how about Shift V? Nope, not seem to be working. Okay. So I keep calling it node, but it's called control point. I'll delete another one. See that? Now then, the lines are a little bit more even. We can also make the lines a little bit more even if we want to by just simplifying the line. So we're going to go to our line correct tool here, subtool, simplify vector line. You see right there. And then we'll just take a swipe at this whole line here. Okay. Now then, O. See how that's much simpler. That line is much simpler. Okay. I'm going to take this back all the way back here. And I'm going to hit my forward space key. Tell me zoom. You can also hit just like the zoom button, the Z button, I mean. Hit my O, object line. I'm going to have a sharper line there. And then you can just move this in here so you don't lose any of the, you lose less width. All right, so here we go. Now then, let's go ahead and continue this. I feel like, let me do this real quick and we'll see how this becomes such a great tool to help you speed up your workflow. Okay, E to erase, boom, 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 boom. Okay, object tool. We had some problems with the lines here. They need to be connected here. So I'll just hit my Y button or my line correct tool here. Make sure it's set to under the sub tool palette. Make sure it's set to connect vector lines, and we'll hit those. Okay, that one's not working. Oh, let's see if we can figure out why it's not working. Or it is working. Look at that. It is working. Okay, it did work. It just wasn't as impressive because it didn't do exactly the way I wanted it to. I'm gonna hit Y again because notice this line isn't connected. So O. Now we've got up here and we've got down there. All right, now that I want to simplify this line, so I'm going to do my line correct tool, and then I'm going to subtool, simplify vector line. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. See, that then tightens things up a little bit, helps us with the smoothness. And I hit O and select. You see, I have much fewer vector lines. Now here's an artifact here. You see how you have this kind of ugly spot here? Click on, there's an artifact, just select it, hit backspace, and then it's gone. Now look up here. Now that we've got all this going on, this is thinned out here. It's gotten so simple that the line is extremely thin. Well, let's try connecting these 2 points here hitting Y, and make sure under the subtool that we have correct connect vector lines. Let's try that. Okay, O. Okay, it looks like, yeah, it connected them, but it didn't really help us much on our on the line width. So now we're going to try, hit Y, come over to your subtool palette, simplify vector line. Let's try that on here. Okay. So, oops, that messed that up a little bit. There we go. I want to keep that. Okay, so that didn't help. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hit O, and we're going to move this line back here. I'm going to delete this line. Okay, now that's getting us somewhere. That is now giving us the whole line is pretty much the same thickness. I'm going to use my object tool, select the line, click this point. So I take it off. See, that's white. I select it. Now it's red. Right click with your mouse and switch corner. Now it's got that sharp corner, that sharp edge. And so this can then play as an opposite if we want to, whoops, juxtapose it to our actual straight line. Okay, so it still looks pretty good. However, I think you could use one more node or control point. So I'm going to put my, I'm just going to let my pointer hover over the line, right click, add control point. And then I'm going to move it into place, and we'll see how that looks. How does that look? Looks pretty good. Move that back into place. Okay. Now then, I want this right here to be sharp. So I'm going to click here, right click, switch corner. Now the circle's become a square. I'm going to get rid of that circle, right click, delete control point. See how nice how nice that little point is, that corner is? So now I've got a new corner, and let me remove a couple more points, see what happens. Okay, doesn't like this so much. However, can move one of the old ones back into place. Let's try this one. So I just kind of move my line until I got it in a way that I like it. If you have to, don't be afraid to. You might be saying, well, it seems like this takes longer doing like this. It can take longer somehow in some ways, but you can also have more of a guaranteed long line. Now, I think another thing we can just do here is return that point. So I've got more than one point here. And so let's try this. Now I've got those two again, okay? So that makes it a little bit easier. The problem is what I dislike is that you've got this little point. But it might be that later on we'll be able to smooth that out again when we construct this new line. Okay, let's go back and do our super speed inking. So hit your P for your pen tool, and let's just take it in. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I'm going to hit E for my eraser tool and knock those out real quick. I'm just trying to get everything up that's gone through. Okay, so we've got a few points here that are not really connecting with each other. So we're going to go ahead and connect those, and just hit Y, and then go to the subtool palette, connect vectors. See, they're kind of far apart, so you can't really connect those as easy. So I'm going to get these other ones first. I'm going to do O. I'm trying to move these up together. Get these closer. Hit Y. Looks like that connected, so let's check it out. O. Yep, looks like we got all these connected. These two are not connected, though, as far as I can tell. Those are not connected. So let's hit Y once more. O. And now they're all connected. Okay, good. So now then, let's hit Y. Line correct tool, subtool palette, simplify vector line, and go over it with our brush. Okay. Good. O. So this point got out of whack, so I'm going to hit switch corner on it. Switch corner. Okay. And delete that. Okay, select that, right click, switch corner. Got that sharp edge again. I've got too many points. I'm going to delete one more. Okay. Delete. Okay. Switch corner. Move that into place. I think there's too many curves here. Delete control point. Delete control point. Okay. Now remember, you really want to have, unless if you're having trouble getting things to look the way you want, you can delete some of these points and it makes things easier to control. So let's go ahead and I'm going to hit Y. Subtool palette, get my connect vector. Try to join these two lines together, see if anything happened. O. Nope, they did not connect. Let's try Y again. I moved that out around a little bit. No, O. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get these things close enough that they'll connect. Okay, let's see here, Y. And it doesn't look like they want to connect for some reason. This, I will admit, is one of the things I have seen with doing the vector layers. I don't always see why sometimes they'll connect and sometimes they don't. But we could try another thing. Let's go ahead and go to our correct line tool, subtool menu. And I have connect line vector lines selected. Now I'm going to go to the tool property. And let's see here. See, if you look right here, it says connect vector lines. So I am going to, I've got 3 rectangles selected. I'm going to try to go all the way up to 5, see what happens now. See those connect now. No. Okay, O. Oh, that's why these two are actually joined together. So what you'll find out is that if you've got two lines already joined together, they're not going to connect with the third one. You've got to connect 2 lines at the most. And the reason I didn't see that is because sometimes it goes invisible. It's turned invisible for some reason. So, okay, so that makes sense. Now I understand why that isn't working the way I want it to. Okay, now the next thing that I can do here, you see how this is really thick over here, really much thinner on the other side? Let's change that. Let's get our line correct tool, our correct line tool, and you can do that by either selecting here in the menu, or you can go to the, you can hit Y. I'm going to go to my subtool palette, adjust line thickness, and here I think I've got it with fixed width. Let's see what happens when I do that. Everything's become much thinner, and I don't think I want it that thin. Let's bump this up to 20. See how that works. Okay. So a little bit thicker. So I want to go 22. 24. There we go. That's better. I was doing this over all of it. That way I've got a consistent line. This whole thing that I'm doing here, it depends on your style, depends on what you're going for. I happen to like to use colors to define, you know, the heavier areas, the darker areas, rather than my lines. My lines are there more to just define the space. Come and hit O, click on this line. Now look at this. Look what it did. Because I created a uniform thickness of lines, it put all these extra nodes in here, all these extra control points. I don't really want those. Sometimes though, whenever you make a change to this, you simplify it, it will then thin out your line. Let's see what we can come up with. I'm going to hit Y for my correct line tool. I'm going to go to the subtool palette, click on Simplify Vector Line, and I'm going to go over these. And I'm going to just do it. And you can see it affects the lines for sure. Some of them get a little bit thinner than others. I see that disappeared. Okay. So you're learning. See, there are always pros and cons to everything you do. You have to decide which things you're willing to have the pro and the con for. Okay, let's go O. Let's see what exactly. Okay, so we've got most of this back to where we want it. I want to click that, hit switch corner, and I'm going to choose this node, right click, switch corner. I want to have a sharp edge there. And as we saw earlier, I only needed like 3 points. So I'm going to select some of these nodes. I hold down the shift key and click on the ones that I don't want. Okay. And right click, delete control points. I got rid of all those. I'm going to click on this one, right click, switch corner. Now it's a sharp one. Then I can bring this down. I can bring this one, move this one over. Now I'm dealing with the curves. And now this works just like you have in Adobe Illustrator or Inkscape, where you can move these things around and have more control over it. So let me get rid of this one, delete, delete. Going to right click, switch corner, right click, switch corner. And so I minimize the number of lines I'm using here. And this I'm seeing does not seem to make a lot of sense because of the perspective, the way he's turned. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is taking forever. Well, yes and no. Like you have to fix your lines anyway. So, you know, and I'm just seeing some of these mistakes. Okay, let's go ahead and fix that. Why? Because I gotta fix this right here. Let's see if that helped. Okay, O. Got rid of some of those nodes, but not as many as I would like. Right click, delete. And so I only need about 3, I think. So right click, turn that into a sharp corner. So switch corner. Okay. I think I'll bring that beyond because I'm going to try to connect these together. All right, let's see here. I'm going to delete this. Shift on my shift key. Select, 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 select. Select. Okay. Right click, delete control point. Right click, switch corner. Okay, not sharp. Now I can mess with this however I want to. Okay. Right click, delete. Right click, add control point. This will help me thicken up this line a little bit. Split line. There, I split that line. Okay, look, I'm spending a little too much time on this. Okay, P. Okay, boom, boom, E, cut, 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 cut. There we go. All right. O. Okay, we have those artifacts here, or not artifacts, but these lines are not connecting. We need to put them in more of a position where they're more likely to connect. I'll hit Y. Connect vector lines. Check. Yep, those are connected. Try to connect whatever's here. Okay. O. I'm going to put Y. Simplify vector line. Okay. O. This little cluster here. I'm going to move this up, have a little bit more control, and I'm going to turn this also into a sharp corner. Okay. I'm going to get rid of some of these points. Right click to delete point. Move that in there. Like that. Okay. P, E. Okay. Alrighty. P. E. Okay. P. E. P. I still need that. E. O. Click that line and move a couple of these vertices back. Sometimes it's just quicker to move the vertices than it is to try erasing and redrawing them. Okay, P. Okay. E. I'm going to try to speed this up. Just want to make sure you guys understand how to use this. You'll be like, I get it. Just move on. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to move on and try to speed this up a little bit so you can see just how fast I can actually do this. E. I'm going to ignore all the fixes until the end, if possible. Oops. Z. Okay. P. E. Okay. P. E. Okay. P. E. I just don't like those lines at all. Problem is this one was badly drawn. So, and I don't want to spend all day on this because it's not really drawing videos and inking videos. So I'm going to have to deal with a certain amount of the bad anatomy and everything else. So I just want to show you that you can actually still improve it in spite of all that by just using this technique. So I'm going to start erasing E. And as you can see, I'm always running into problems I need to solve. And I'm also always editing. Have to be careful with my getting too crazy with my eraser. But at the end of the day, it starts shaping up pretty good. P. Okay, now then I got these little brace things on here. I think they were more for like just to look cool. I don't think they really had any purpose. You know, most of you guys probably never do that. Draw things that look cool but have no purpose. I know that. Okay. Okay. Oh. Might have to come back and deal with this one later. P. E. Okay. P. I'm just make these simple hand things here because I had to keep reminding myself I'm not really here to perfect this thing. It was badly drawn to begin with. I'm just trying to show you how you can improve it very quickly using this. And I've got to keep that in mind that that's my actual purpose, not to sit here and redraw a perfect drawing. I would like to ever get it E as close to perfect as I possibly can. And let's see here. Just I want to really see those improvements. Okay, so that's a more interesting looking fist, P. Okay, good. So now I'm going to do this, his belt. Whoops. Okay, E. Knock off those edges there, those intersections. See, that's already looking better. P. E. All right, let's put this little thing on the belt. P. Okay. Hold on. E. Sometimes I get a little over enthusiastic. A little triangle there. P. I'll then draw a circle, but I want to hit the point. E. Okay. P. E. Okay. P. E. So see how that worked out a lot better. That's a lot better than the first thing I did in the original. Let's keep going. P. Okay. I try to mix in as much as possible curves and lines and make them opposing, but I'm not really putting too much thought into it because I do want to get done quickly. But even still, I still think it looks a lot better. Okay. See, I skipped that one because I didn't want to get too far caught up in it. Okay, this one I have to have more of an intersection, so P, I'm going to create that intersection. Now then E, I'm now going to be able to remove those. Okay, P. You don't have to create cross sections every time you draw a line. And I got this little thing I like to do where I kind of point to character. All right. E. Oops. P. Okay. So let's make this one. Let's work on this one here. His arm, his bicep here. All right. E. And whatever you don't like, you can always erase and do it again. Oops. Interesting. Okay. Oops. I want a P, and it's back into P. And then E. Erase that. Erase that. Erase the whole thing there. There we go. P. Okay. E. Okay. P. Got these things here again, so let's go ahead and get those knocked out. Curves. Okay. E. P. So there. E. If you're sitting there at home thinking it's taking so long, just realize there's no crying in baseball. That's all I have to say to you. What does that mean? Figure it out for yourself. No, I'm just mean that to realize that nothing is going to be the absolute fastest. Just the more you use it, the faster it gets. I found this actually sped me up quite a bit, and it may not look like it, but that's partly because I'm reconstructing this character as I go. He wasn't the This wasn't the best drawing I could have done, so that's part of the reason it's making me go slower. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't look terrible. Um, okay, E. P. All right, let's keep on going. This is a little hand gesture thing I like to draw since I was a kid. Probably doesn't look the best, but it's one of my go-to drawings. Just have this sort of indication of a hand. This is an older version of Uriel's costume. I actually have a more updated one, but what I was really looking for was something I could use in a drawing demonstration. So that's why I chose this older costume, because it's an older drawing. P. E. Okay, I'm going to keep on P. Keep on keeping on. E. All right, P. E. P. Okay, I'm going to have this more of a perfect. So I hit Y, connect vector layers. It's the first thing we're going to do is connect those two vector layers. Then I'm going to come over here and hit simplify vector layer. Okay, and then I'm going to hit O. See how, okay, still got a lot of things. For a good circle, you usually typically only need about 4 of these nodes. They have to be facing each other. So I'm going to hit right click, delete control point, and I can move these things around the circle till they become much better, more circle-like. Okay, that's good for a quick thing. I'll bring that just a little more. And I'm not liking that, so I can add in another one. Change things around just a little bit. Like that looks better. There you go. That's a little bit better. Less wobbly looking, but I'm not going to spend too much time on that. E, because I promised I would not. P, and I got to get rid of this obsessive compulsive desire to make everything perfect. So I'm going to just draw this. I think the best way to draw this thing is do a triangle as straight as possible. So we're going to do this line. And one of the reasons I like this is it's forcing me to practice being more confident in my strokes. And as you get further in your artistic journey, you're going to find out how important that is. E. Let me see here. Yep. Pretty well with that one. Okay. P. Now we're going to do a circle. Okay. Circles are harder, but I think you can kind of fake it if you just do this. Line, line, line. See that? You're going to make an approximation of a circle. E. Okay. Erase those. Okay, now then. O. Let's go ahead and hit my Y key. And I'm going to come to connect vector layers. And I'm going to connect those connected vector lines, I mean. I'm going to connect those things together. Then I'm going to select simplify vector layer. Okay. O. Okay. Now then, delete. I'm not going to delete too many because I see that this one is being a little funny here. And let's bring this back to about here. And then we're going to keep drawing. So, oh, I also want to P, E, there you go. Now we've got our little symbol there, okay? P, bring it down, kind of curve it out, bring it down, curve it out, curve it out, curve it out, curve it out. Oh, let's do a little bit this way. Curve it out, okay? E, P, P, okay, now on P, draw that, yeah, E, O, so here's some artifact there, yeah, let's delete that, I'll make this just one line, that's the way to go sometimes, just to get rid of the thing, you could connect them, but why? You've already got so much of this going on here. All right, this is thicker than you might want. So I'm trying to Y and then select simplify vector line once again. See if that can help me out. Okay, I don't want it quite. Okay, O. See, that's the problem right there. The line. So there, that's the artifact. There it is. Couldn't find the artifact. So now that this has come to this, I am going to go ahead and see if I can connect those lines. Okay, yep, that worked. Now I'm going to simplify the vector lines. Okay, Y. I'm going to connect vector lines here, here. Try to make sure everything is connected. Okay, O. All right, oh, that did not connect. Okay. I'm going to right click that, get rid of that. It's just gumming things up. I'll try one more time. Y. Connect. Okay, that seemed to work. O. Okay. Take that because it's pretty much the way I want it to look. So no point being, annoyed by small imperfections right now. If it really bothers you, you can always change it later on. Okay, let's go back to inking. P. Okay. I'm going to do straight. There's so many curves. Now curve it out. Curve it out. Straight. Okay. E. Good. P. Curve it out. Straight. Curve it out. Straight. E. P. E. P. E. Okay. P. Okay. E. P. E. Okay. Good. Okay. Let's do P to the foot. E, P, E, P, E, P, E. Hope you don't find me saying P and E over and over and over again annoying. I just know when I've studied um, tutorials, P, one of the things that always drove me a little bit crazy was the people who taught the tutorials would suddenly do something. I had no idea what they were doing, and I had to watch the same thing multiple times. And so I'm trying to do this story where you don't have to do that. You know, E, every time what I'm doing, what hot button I'm pushing, P. And you can see that a lot of it's just repetition, you know, and it's not like there's any big mystery. It's just once you have the tool, you have the tool. E, and I think that you've probably got most of this, but because I said I would do the whole thing, we'll go and do the whole thing, and I notice this leg over here is a lot thicker, so I'm going to hit E. I'm going to thin this sucker up, and just thin it up all over. Okay, P. Okay, boom, boom. Oh, E, I did not see that. Okay, knock that out. Okay, P. Right. E. Right, P. E. Now I'm getting a little more comfortable with some of the design elements here that I just sort of invented on the go. Okay, so I want to P, get this circle going. I'll just curve it out. Okay, E. E, E. Like a monkey, E. Okay. Now then, P, curve, 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 straight, straight. E, I'm going to do that. I do like this quirky look here. I was going to try to make this all circular like I did over here, but here's another way to go with it. And because this isn't really meant for publication. This is meant for as a tutorial. And I'm just doing this quickly. I don't think there's a need for me to pick one side over the other. P, E, P, curving it out, curve it out, curve it out, curve it out, just curving it out. Okay, curve it out, straight, straight, curve, curve, straight, straight, curve, straight, straight. E, the fun thing is to do the cape. We're about to do the cape. I'm actually looking forward to that. That part is the most fun. None of this hasn't been fun. There's something fun about just sort of like casually, you know, knocking out lines and putting them in there, and you know, just something about doing this so quickly. I find it fun. Okay. P, E, okay. P, this diamond thing here. E, P, curve it out, boom, straight, curve, curve, straight, curve, P and E, erase the nonsense, the non-essential, P, E, P, make a little diamond in here, E, P, E, P, E, P. Okay. All right. Now all we have left is the cape. Okay. Straight, curve, 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 straight, curve, straight, curve, and curve, straight, straight, curve, 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 straight, curve, straight. Okay, that's the erase all this superfluous stuff. E. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, it's coming along good. Right. Okay. P. P well strong enough. There we go. E. P. E. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Let's turn off the blue line. Take a look at our character, see how he looks. Looking pretty good. And let's turn off the ink layer. And this is what he looked like beforehand. I'm going to turn up the opacity on this. So now you can see this is what he looked like beforehand. You know, he's okay with, you know, some stuff that's off. And then with our little technique, we really quickly inked that. Probably could have gone faster. I had done a better drawing on this. Had better drawing to go off of. This was just me sort of using those quickly to stylize. There's more that I can do. I can go in here next, and I can just start drawing these lines here to represent the folds. All right. And this is one of my favorite things to do. I like to try to get the folds to aim in sort of a certain area. It's almost like emphasis lines without having to draw emphasis lines. It's kind of cool. Okay. So anyway, so see, that makes it look a little more exciting. All right. So that was drawing Uriel using the vector tool I showed you. You know, if I were going to do this, I of course first start with better underdrawing. Then I would go through and I would do a quick ink over the whole thing. And then I'd go back, and that's when I would mess with the line widths and simplify the lines, connect the lines, all that kind of stuff. You want to just first make sure you get your line down as quickly as possible. Then you can mess with the little stuff as you go. So I think that's going to do it. This was just over an hour. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial or example, I guess, as demonstration on how to use vector tools to ink. If you have any questions, please put them in the link below. And I hope to see you guys soon for another tutorial. Thank you.